Yes.
We have very many foreign students in our midst. And I think as of 2013, it has been shared that the government spends about $36 million a year to give over 2,000 scholarships to foreign students. Some Singaporeans are feeling that these are the foreigners who are also depriving our own people of places at the tertiary levels, for example, and even further down. What's your take on that?
Entry into our universities are based on cut-off points. No Singaporean is denied a place if he can qualify through the cut-off points. So it's not as if there are only so many places, and because we give some places to foreigners, therefore Singaporeans cannot get in. You meet the criteria, you get in. There are people who don't meet that criteria, who get very unhappy because they have to spend hard-earned life savings sending their children to Australia or somewhere else, and who feel, why is this foreigner in that faculty when my son could have gotten in? The point is, the university wants to maintain a certain standard. It keeps to that criteria. If they don't make it, they don't get in. And that is not easy to accept. But it's not because of the foreigner. Now, second part of your point is, why are these foreigners in our schools? You want to be an integrated ASEAN. Singapore wants to be the New York of ASEAN, when we have to do our part. Our people are going to get tremendous opportunities when ASEAN gets integrated. But as part of that, we also have to allow some ASEAN students to come here. You know, they become our brand ambassadors as well. Don't forget, there is a lot of soft power. I'll give you one example. A Vietnamese student who studied here is in Silicon Valley. When our companies want to go over there, he offers tremendous help. And the returns we get, our companies get, far outweighs anything we spend. A large number of the students who come here, we try and put in place structures that require them to work in Singapore and contribute back to the economy. Now, that doesn't mean there are people who are not cynical and who don't take advantage. There will always be that group. Our task is to try and identify that early and make sure those who come either come because of these sorts of obligations, international obligations, or because we know that they're going to contribute back. We have to try and make sure of that. Now, we're not going to get that 100% right. But in the main, you can be assured that's our aim. We have nearly 100,000 civil servants around the world who have come to Singapore under what we call the Singapore Cooperation Program to understand our systems of governance and so on. Now, we do this because the world helped us when we succeeded. Now we are relatively successful, we ought to help others. So we do it for those sorts of reasons. But when they go back to their countries, they have spent 2 weeks in Singapore, 3 weeks in Singapore, 4 weeks at our expense, our taxpayers' expense. But they are grateful to Singapore. They have positive